All right, so as most of us feared when we saw Earl Thomas' leg being placed in the air cast, Pete Carroll confirmed it is a lower leg fracture. Of course, Earl Thomas, 1 year left on his deal in Seattle, wanted a longer contract, had a standoff, if you will, with the organization, didn't report, finally came in to play, was ready to go, but now the scenario that he did not want as a player has happened. He's probably likely done for the season with a fractured leg. Ryan, you see this, you heard from Pete Carroll. What goes through your mind?
Well, I know there's a guy that's supposed to be playing in Pittsburgh tonight against the Baltimore Ravens that's saying, see, that's why I'm not there.
Yep.
That's why I'm not playing. And that was a big reason Earl Thomas wanted some type of commitment, because he is getting older, but he's still one of the top free safeties in the game, if not the top. We saw him with those plays against the Dallas Cowboys last week, and now he enters free agency with this injury. He enters free agency having missed the rest of the season from game 4 on. And we know the way teams like to use that. Oh, you're getting up in age. You're coming off of a broken leg or a fractured leg. We can't give you this amount of years. We can't give you this much up front, which is the reason Earl Thomas was asking for his deal to be done, for his deal to be extended, because he knew the work he put in. He knew that he was prepared to play this season and seasons going forward. He was like, so give me what I'm worth. Give me what I've earned. There is the possibility that I could get hurt. And now his worst fears come to fruition. Yep. And if you are Pete Carroll, if you are John Snyder, are you sitting in your office saying, ooh, we dodged one?
Right.
Or do you actually feel, as Pete Carroll says, are you sad for those guys? Are you sending prayers out for Earl Thomas? And so seeing how this plays out from this moment on will be extremely interesting, because the holdout was so public, right? The behavior during the week was so public.
Right.
Obviously, getting Cardi off was so public. So going forward, how does each side handle this contract situation?
Yeah, no, this is as brutal as it gets. And Pete Carroll, he's very calm. He was calm, and he was pointed. You know what I mean? He knew he was calm. And he knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah. And that wasn't, hey man, thanks for the times. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's frustrated, and rightfully so. I mean, you know, you're a player who gives it all. And what RC just said about last week, what he did in Dallas. I mean, this guy plays all over the field and has for this organization, you know, week after week. And you know, you love the way he plays, with the ferocity he plays with. And he's, you know, listen, man, he's frustrated. He's hurt. Yeah. I mean, you know, it is a personal thing for players. Yeah. And I get it, you know, right? I mean, fans, they root for that decal. You know what I mean? We root for each other, man. Yep, I root for him to go get paid. I root for he and his family, because I know what we're giving up. Right. We know in the back end we give up. And listen, we all sign up for it. Yep. I make no mistake about it. We understand what we're in for. That's why he was going to hold out. Right. That's why he's doing it. So when fans get upset, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, you got to. This is why we do it, man. Right. I mean, we understand the risk, and we understand it's real risk. Every week somebody lost the tip of a finger the other day. It's real risk, man. Right. I mean, it's real risk. So there, you know, from where he is, I can understand his frustration.
And that's the frustrating part for somebody like Earl. You understand what you've put in, what you've given up,
and he wants his organization to understand that and do right by him.
And that's the frustration, though, Mike.
Right.
You want them to say, hey, everything that you put into us, we're going to put it back into you.
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of frustration, yes, the Cardinals are an 0-4 football team at this particular point, but last couple of weeks they've shown some signs of life. Narrow loss to the Bears, obviously last-second loss here. And you looked at Josh Rosen's first career start today, and you have an incredible parallel that I want you to talk about.
Yeah, listen, you know, now, this guy's, I'm gonna say a name.
Okay.
Right? And when I
be careful, right? When I say, be careful right now?
So when I say this name, Jeff, we're gonna get all, oh, no way, you're tripping. It's his first start. They're not the same. All that, right?
All right.
And I'm not talking about talent. I'm not talking about arm talent. I'm not talking about improvisation. I'm not saying, but he acts like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, man, you tripping.
And
they ain't the same.
Here's what I'm gonna say. He was like 15 for 27, 180 yards or so, the one touchdown. It wasn't a great performance, but I never saw Josh Rosen get rattled. I saw his line get beat. He gets sacked. He's reaching up to Bobby Wagner to help him up, knowing that he won't help him up. You go back to the interception last week. He's walking off. He's like, right? He has a poise about him. He has a confidence, an arrogance, and depending on what side you sit on, I think it's a good thing because this is a guy that won't get rattled. This is a dude that's like, yeah, man, you know, I didn't play great, but I'm a legend. I had a hot tub in my dorm room. You see what I'm saying? So when a guy like that is your quarterback and you're on a bad team, because this team is bad, and he's going to get beat up, they're going to have bad losses, they're going to have bad games, it's not going to be the Sam Bradford we saw last week, the doggy look on the sideline like, right? This dude's like, nah, all right, I threw a pick. Got the next drive, let's go see it. And I think when you put a rookie in what is a bad situation, he needs to be able to carry himself in a way that he never loses confidence in him when everything's falling apart around him. And I think he has the type of demeanor to be successful, at least in that end, for the Arizona Cardinals.